So, hello everyone! Welcome back to our channel, and for this travel video, magfo-focus naman tayo sa isa sa mga popular destinations sa buong mundo, which is Paris, France. Nung nagpunta kami dito, this was one of the most exciting parts of our Europe trip, and we know, isa din ito sa mga dream destinations nyo kasi syempre, Paris is the city of love and lights. So share lang namin sa inyo na for this Paris trip, medyo may kabigatan sa budget. And for almost 5 days, we planned of spending 40,000 pesos in total for both of us. This is except yung flights namin and hotels because we already paid for this before our actual Europe trip. So mamaya, makikita natin kung napagkasya nga ba namin itong budget na ito, napuntahan ba namin yung mga gusto naming puntahan, paano kaya kami nagtipid sa mismong city, at kaya nyo bang masulit din kung ikaw ay budget traveler kagaya namin. We're Beam and Grace, and we create budget travel guide for Filipinos looking to explore the world without spending a fortune. On this channel, you'll find easy-to-follow itineraries, complete cost breakdowns, and insider tips to make your travels unforgettable. So if you're ready to plan your dream trip, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We'll walk you through everything dito sa Paris travel guide namin, from how we got here, visa requirements for Filipinos, transportation, where to stay, must-see attractions, hanggang sa actual itinerary at complete cost breakdown ng trip namin. So if Paris is part of your dream Europe itinerary, this video is definitely for you. So bago tayo magsimula sa tour natin around Paris, here are the following things na dapat mong malaman bago ka magpunta sa city na ito. City background. Firstly, we'll give you some background of the city. So Paris is the capital of France, and isa sa mga most visited cities itong Paris sa buong mundo. So this is known as the City of Lights, at ito ang naging sentro ng art, fashion, gastronomy, at culture sa Europe. So pag narinig mo ang Paris, unang pumapasok sa isip natin ang Eiffel Tower, Louvre Museum, Arc de Triomphe, at Seine River. So pero beyond those landmarks, marami pa tayong madidiscover, from street cafes, local baguettes, to romantic night walks. So here's the Paris official website in the screen below. Number 2, visa for Filipinos. So since France is part of the Schengen area, kailangan mo ng Schengen visa to enter. So we created a separate video dedicated para sa pag-apply nating mga Pilipino ng Schengen visa. So dito sa video na ito, we'll be walking you through our complete application experience and process nung kumuha kami ng Schengen visa. So number 3, currency. Ang ginagamit na currency sa Paris ay euro. So major establishments accept debit and credit cards, at surprisingly, tinatanggap din ng cafes at souvenir shops, lalo na kunyari gumagamit kayo ng GCash card, the GCash Visa card. Pero still, it's wise to bring cash, lalo na sa mga street stalls or metro ticket machines na minsan hindi tumatanggap ng foreign cards. Number 4 is language. So official language dito sa Paris, France, syempre ay French, pero in tourist areas, basic English is widely understood. Still, magandang gesture kung magi-greet ka in French like bonjour for good day and merci for thank you. Number 5, dress codes. Paris is fashionable, pero hindi ibig sabihin lagi ding pangrampa yung susuotin mo. So, here are some of the tips na pwede naming mai-offer sa inyo. So, number 1, wear comfortable shoes kasi ang dami mong lalakarin when you visit. Number 2, consider the weather as well. During our time, sobrang init sa Paris kasi summer yon, and it's advisable na magdamit ng manipis or opt to wear shorts or sando. Pero in such cases, you need to dress decently, lalo na kung pupunta kayo sa churches like Sacré-Cœur. Experience namin, hindi kami nakapasok inside kasi naka-short at saka naka-sando lang kami nung nag-e-explore sa streets ng Paris. Then eventually, nakita namin yung simbahan ng Sacré-Cœur. Ayun, entry is really not allowed because it's strict inside the church. Number 6 is safety and security. So So generally safe ang Paris, pero same sa Rome, common ang pickpocketing lalo na sa tourist areas like the Eiffel Tower, metro stations, and around Montmartre. As experience nung nagpunta kami ng Paris, we felt safe kasi when we visited, it was the Olympics season that time at madaming pulis around Paris. So when we were there, before we check our phones, pupunta muna kami malapit sa mga police officers para we feel really safe. Pero since pupunta kayo ng Paris, panigurado magkakaiba tayo ng experiences. And to avoid being scammed and be safe, always secure your valuables. So mag-backpack, kung magbabackpack kayo sa harap ng katawan, hindi sa likod. Avoid carrying your passport everywhere. Use photocopies instead. Stay alert lalo na sa metro, maraming scammers and pickpockets. And if you ever need to contact someone, you can actually call 112 for police, ambulance, and other incidents. So recently, baka nabalitaan nyo sa news na nanakaw ang isa sa mga historical and most expensive jewelries inside Louvre Museum. Kaya tandaan na kung ang Louvre na nakawan, given the strict security, mas madaling maging target ka bilang isang traveler na wala talagang alam sa Paris. So always stay vigilant. So lastly, for the other things na kailangan nyo malaman like weather, perfect time to visit, data roaming connectivity, and packing your essentials not only in Paris but for your whole Europe trip, you may also want our Europe planning guide as well. So please see the link below. So how to get to Paris? So maraming ways to reach Paris depending on your European route. So galing kami ng Rome, papunta ng Paris via Wizz Air flight. So it's one of the cheapest airlines in Europe and it costs us more or less 70 euros per person. So actual deduction sa amin, sa GCash card namin ay 4,301 pesos per person. And there are a lot of airlines pero since mahal ang flights, we ended up in one of the cheapest planes na galing sa Wizz Air. So in terms of airports, the main airport is Charles de Gaulle or CDG. Kami naman, as experience namin, from Rome, dinala kami sa Orly Airport instead. So Orly Airport is near the city center. Mas maliit siya and less crowded than CDG. Si CDG kasi more of long-haul flights, pero si Orly more of flights within Europe area. So really plan accordingly, especially if you reach the airport na sobrang aga or sobrang late. So from the airport naman to Paris City Center, if you'll be from CDG, about 45 minutes away away from the city center. So if you'll be coming naman from Orly, more or less 30 minutes lang. So maraming options to consider depending on your budget. At pwede ka naman din mag-train, bus, or even taxi. So if galing kayong CDG, you can choose from the following. So by RERB train, which is the fastest and cheapest option to Gare du Nord station, which is about 11.45 euros or more or less 725 pesos. Next is by bus, so which is more comfortable but slower, which costs from 16 euros to 18 euros. And next naman is by taxi or Uber, if more comfortable and convenient naman hanap mo, marami kayong bitbit na gamit or super aga or super late ng arrival nyo, for around 55 euros or 3,500 pesos, makakarating ka sa city center. If from Orly Airport naman kayo galing, so there are a lot of options as well. So Metro Line 14, this is the fastest public transport option directly serving the airport. So ang cost nito is 13 euros for special single ticket from the airport station. At yung regarding time, around 20 to 26 minutes to central locations like Gare de Lyon or Châtelet. Pwede ka din namang mag-tram and train, okay? So ito medyo mas budget option. So take the T9 tram from Orly 4, then transfer to Metro Line 7, and this requires more luggage handling. So for the cost, approximately for 450 euros. Okay, so sa T9 tram, 2 euros, Metro Line 7, 250 euros. Tapos yung time nun, medyo nagva-vary, depende sa metro or bus. Yung next naman is RERB plus Orly Val. So the cost is 13 euros for Orly-Val plus the RAR ticket price. And makakarating kayo sa city center about 30 to 45 minutes. And next is Uber or taxi, which is more expensive than the option stated a while ago. Where's the perfect place to stay in Paris? So we personally stayed far from Paris city center. So nagstay kami sa Paris sa Sub Hotel. So it is a great accommodation to stay. It's cheap and has great amenities. Pero malayo and challenging siya in terms of commute as per our experience. So located kasi ito 9 kilometers away from the city center. So we're recommending some perfect locations in Paris which will not compromise your budget. And it's really a challenge lalo na you'll be visiting in one of the most popular cities in the world. So here are some of the budget-friendly areas near the major attractions. So number 1, Montmartre. So this is located in 18th arrondissement. So para sa best views at okay for budget travelers, Montmartre is a great option. So kung magstay ka sa area na ito, malapit lang to sa Sacré-Cœur Basilica and local cafes. And dito sa area na ito, artistic ang vibes dito with lots of affordable hotels. So the average price varies mula sa 4,000 pesos to 6,000 pesos per night, but always remember, malaking factor pa din ang season sa prices ng hotels. So number 2, Latin Quarter or the 5th arrondissement. So best naman for culture ay ang area ng Latin Quarter. So malapit naman ito sa Notre Dame at Seine River. So nakapalibot din dito ang universities at mga affordable restaurants to eat. Yung average price naman dito ay from 5,000 pesos to 7,000 pesos per night. Yung pangatlo naman is sa Champs-Élysées or the 8th arrondissement. So kung ikaw naman ay okay sa premium locations at nasa budget mo naman ang pagstay sa accommodation na medyo mas mahal, you can stay in the 8th arrondissement around Champs-Élysées. Maraming luxury hotels and shopping area dito and nasa gitna ka talaga and very much accessible sa'yo ang lahat. So this is very perfect kung gusto mo ng easy access sa Arc de Triomphe and sa Eiffel Tower. So nag-start ang rate per night dito around 9,000 pesos and up depending pa din sa season. So as a pro tip, first is book 3 to 4 months early, lalo na during special events. Kagaya nung umalis kami, it's Olympic season or summer, sobrang mahal ng accommodations. So be prepared and at least decide to book ahead para hindi maging problema sa trip mo. Second is always check if may air conditioning, especially if pupunta ka ng summer. So maraming Paris accommodations ang walang AC. And third, kagaya sa Amsterdam at saka sa Rome, may additional fees pa sila which is the tourist tax. Okay, so this depends on the classification of your hotel booking. Like 2-star ba yun or 5-star hotel ba yung accommodation mo and ilang days yung stay mo sa Paris at ilan kayo bale. So just to give you an idea, we got the hotel for 4 nights which costs 9,936 pesos. Tapos ang taxes and fees noon ay 3,619 pesos, giving us a total of 13,555 pesos. So meron ding mandatory deposit ng 100 euros once na nag-check-in ka na. So don't worry dahil maibabalik naman ito kapag nag-check out ka. Yun lang, medyo malaki-laki din ang security deposit kasi more or less like 7,000 pesos din yun. So where did we go in Paris? So for this section of the travel guide, we will be sharing with you our itinerary and experiences on all of the places we've been to sa Paris. So things like activities, transportation, at saka food. Hindi lang actual itinerary, but of course, pinaka-importante yung expenses namin for our 5 days and 4 nights in Paris for your reference. So as stated kanina, we initially challenged ourselves na mas magtipid kasi medyo nauubos na yung budget namin. Kaya dapat hindi kami lalagpas ng 40,000 pesos in total for both of us sa buong Paris trip namin. So during this time, nakarating na kami ng Berlin, ng Prague, ng Vienna, Rome, and Vatican. And meron pa kaming Brussels and Amsterdam afterwards on our Europe trip. Kaya we decided na maging wais, especially in terms of financials. So hopefully for this section, makatulong sa inyo bilang isang tourist na magbabakasyon, especially kung gusto nyo talagang makatipid and at the same time, i-enjoy yung precious moments sa Paris. So yung first day namin is coming from Rome. Lumipad kami papuntang Orly Airport sa Paris. So it went well nang walang hassle. Siguro yung hassle lang dito ay yung sobrang aga namin kailangan lumipad from Rome to Paris. So actually, hindi naman sobrang mahal yung flight ticket sa Wizz Air. So sabi nga namin kanina, it's 70 euros per person. So actual deduction ay yung 4,301 pesos nga per person sa GCash card namin. So more or less 9,000 pesos for the two of us. So around 6 a.m. nasa plane na kami ng Wizz Air sa Rome. Tapos around 8 a.m. lumapag kami sa Paris Orly Airport. And then usual process inside the airport, security checks, showing of passports, tapos bumili kami ng Navigo Easy Pass and went directly sa hotel. So for more information about the Navigo Easy Pass, ito ay rechargeable card for travelers and tourists in Paris na gagamitin nyo sa metro stations. So this costs 2 euros each card at pwede mo na ito loadan. So initially, bumili kami nung card and nag-top up na kami for 2 packs and it costs 38.80 euros or more or less 2,500 pesos. So nung naubos doon, doon na lang namin ulit niloadan yon. So pwede kayo bumili via kiosks sa airport or para hindi hassle, you can actually do it on your phone. So may mobile app sila, the Navigo mobile app. So ayun, around 10:30 a.m. na kami nakarating dito sa hotel. Maayos naman, yung community and environment maganda, yung room namin mukhang bago pa at sa window kita mo ang mga typical apartment sa Paris. So that staff is accommodating as well. So problema lang talaga, malayo siya sa city center. Though okay lang sa amin, kinaya naman namin. Pero if you'll be together with elders and kids, parang hindi advisable dito kasi hindi siya convenient. Anyway, back to the topic. So since it's almost lunchtime at tipid mode na kami, we decided to have some groceries. So malaki ang difference talaga ng pagkain sa restaurants versus groceries. So ang pinakamalapit sa hotel namin na groceries ay Monoprix. So we met some Filipinos doon na nag-aayos ng groceries. Nakakatuwa actually kasi sa area doon, madalang na may makita kaming Pinoy. So anyway, bumili kami ng groceries for around like 14.10 euros or 896 pesos to be exact during that time. So covered na dito yung lunch namin, yung pang-picnic dinner namin, at yung pang-breakfast kinabukasan. So imagine, mas mura talaga siya. So bumalik kami sa hotel and as part of the amenities, pwede kami manghiram ng utensils at mag-init sa microwave oven nila. So that's what we did and eventually ate our food. So after namin kumain, nag-rest muna kami sandali and then tuloy na yung laban. So around 7 p.m., umalis kami para pumunta sa city center. So by the way, yung 7 p.m. summertime, sobrang liwanag pa nun. So nakarating kami sa city center ng around 8:30 p.m. So maliwanag pa din. And natagalan kami kasi inalam pa namin yung daan. Tapos marami pa kaming lakad-lakad at saka pag-aantay sa train. So sa area kasi, hindi madalas yung pagdaan ng train. Kaya around 8:30 p.m., doon na kami nakarating. So kaya hindi rin talaga advisable kung ang hinahanap nyo dito ay convenience. So syempre, una namin ginawa is hanapin yung Eiffel Tower. Kasi we all know that it is one of the most popular tourist spots around the world. And it's everyone's dream talaga na makita in person ang Eiffel Tower. So we used Google Maps para matunto namin yung location nito. So by the way, since pumunta kami dito during the Olympics time, mas strict at mas maraming spots ang barricaded, kaya slightly medyo nalungkot kami. Even the train stations, may mga hindi pwedeng babaan, so that's the challenge sa amin. Though may positive side naman, pagkababa ng metro, we felt safe kasi ang daming police na rumoronda as observed while walking along Champ de Mars. Tapos diretso na yon sa Eiffel Tower, you need to scan, tapos may time slot para makapasyal. So ngayon, ang alam ko, wala nang ganito since hindi naman na Olympics sa Paris. So you can actually see the Eiffel Tower kahit kailan mo gusto. with no reservations. Pero dati kasi, nung nagpunta kami, talagang required yung reservations. So pumila kami na mahaba papasok. Tapos may security, pinakita namin yung reservation namin. Tapos in-inspect yung bags, and inside the vicinity of the barricaded Eiffel Tower, honestly, amazed na amazed kami. So nakakatuwa lang dahil dati sa pictures lang natin nakikita, sa videos lang, pero ngayon it's in front of us. So the Eiffel Tower stood 330 meters or 1,083 feet. So mas mataas pa sa pinakamataas na building sa Pilipinas, which is the Grand Hyatt Hotel sa BGC, which is 318 meters lang. So this means if the Eiffel Tower were transplanted to Metro Manila, it would clearly stand out as the tallest structure in the country, surpassing all skyscrapers and communication towers. So it's actually a perfect timing kasi palubog na yung araw nung nagpunta kami noon last time. So we had a lot of pictures and videos with the Eiffel Tower as background. And bago namin intayin magliwanag yung mismong Eiffel Tower. So perfect opportunity na to kill time before makita namin yung lights. So at exactly 10 p.m., it lightens up tapos nag-sparkle. Para siyang may Christmas lights. Habang tinitignan namin to, nagbaon kami ng baguette with strawberry jam na binili namin sa Monoprix. By the way, etong strawberry jam na ito, kamontek pa namin hindi madala. Buti na lang pinayagan na kami ng guard sa entrance kasi nga mas strict yung security nila during the Olympic season. So, ang mahal pa naman nun, tapos hindi namin ma-enjoy ang baguette kung nagkataong hindi kami pinayagan. So anyway, nakalusot naman yon. And so, yun lang yung dinner namin. So, nagkaroon na kami ng dinner picnic dinner. Umupo kami sa harap ng Eiffel Tower, then ate our baguette and had some refreshments. So, busog naman na kami sa laki ng baguette. So, talagang feel na feel ang Paris vibes in a budget. So in terms of crowd, it's crowded pero kasya pa naman kami, hindi naman tipong sardinas pero sobrang dami ng tao during summer. So regarding weather, sakto lang, hindi sobrang init, hindi rin sobrang lamig. So we plan to go to Trocadero Gardens but unfortunately it's closed. Sabi nga namin kanina, napakaraming spots na sarado kaya we plan talaga na bumalik ng Paris soon. So anyway, after 30 minutes, we decided na umuwi kasi aside from the fact na it's getting so late, wala na din kaming masasakyang public transportation kapag mas late pa. So we can't afford an Uber or taxi kasi malayo yung hotel namin and since tight ang budget natin, umuwi na kami kagad. So around 11:30 p.m., nakauwi na kami and went to sleep immediately because marami kaming itinerary kinabukasan. So here's the total expense namin for day 1. So for a second day, since we've been super tired from the first day, umalis kami ng hotel ng late so we decided to go to Montmartre area. So around 10:45 a.m., doon na kami nakarating and decided to go directly to Sacré-Cœur. So take note na medyo mataas ang lakaran dito papunta sa Sacré-Cœur and if you really want to go inside the church, kailangan sumunod sa dress code. Again, sumunod sa dress code dahil strict ang church personnel here. So, chine-check nila isa-isa bago pumasok. Do not be like us kasi since mainit kasi summertime nung nag-visit kami, we decided to wear shorts and sando. So, kung gusto nyo talagang pumunta inside, opt to follow the dress codes. So, the church is free to enter. However, there's a small fee if you want to enter the crypt and take the stairs up to the dome. So, pictures inside nga pala is strictly prohibited. So at dahil hindi kami nakapasok, we decided to take pictures na lang sa front sa may harap ng stairs. Very chilling, Instagrammable, yung area very lively. It's a perfect spot na pag gusto nyo tumambay and take pictures. So just a tip, huwag po tayong magpapabiktima sa mga taong bibigyan ka ng bracelet. Tapos isusuot sa'yo na sabi for free, pero kapag sinuot mo na, hihingan ka ng donation na may fixed value. So don't entertain anyone while walking. As experience, nagpauto po tayo pero hopefully for this video, sana ay maging aware ang kapwa nating mga kababayan when they go here. Also, may mga love locks here sa area, so may mga tao din na nagbebenta ng padlocks pero sobrang mahal. So if you want to do the padlock thing here, magdala na lang kayo on your own. After photos and videos, we decided to walk and go straight. So you'll never go bored while walking since masaya yung surrounding. There are buskers here kasi alam nila maraming tourists. Pinuntahan namin next ang mga shops and restaurants sa Montmartre. So maraming tao and very lively dito. And since walking is tiring, we decided to get a macchiato sa Starbucks. We're always fond of visiting Starbucks store for every city na nabibisita namin. And this is that moment. This is the time for a refreshment. So by the way, we have a video regarding our Starbucks experience in different countries. So if you want to watch this, see the video here. So perfect pair ng coffee ay some macarons. So there's this place na maraming tao tapos they are buying this macaron. So the name of the store is Bisso Macarons at sikat na sikat dito sa Paris ang macarons at alam naman namin, alam nyo na mahal ito kaya okay na sa amin yung tig-dalawang macarons for both of us. So while walking, having coffee and macarons, we saw Le Consulat or Le Maison Rose as well at marami pang magaganda at sikat na cafes sa Paris. So grabe, ang ganda dito sa area na ito at nag-enjoy kami talaga maglakad. Sulit na sulit talaga ang pagod tapos hindi masyadong mainit. Since it's already 1:30 p.m., we decided to have lunch along the way in Urban Bakery and we decided to order sandwiches. So masarap naman yung food and we really enjoyed the meal. Yun lang talagang if you travel to Europe, mamimiss nyo ang rice. So the journey continues and we started na maglakad ulit and we dropped by sa Moulin Rouge. So we decided to research before and it's expensive inside kaya naman picture taking lang muna tayo given na tipid mode na tayo sa Europe trip natin. So malay nyo sa susunod na lang, di ba? After this, sumakay na kami ng metro going to Arc de Triomphe. So we arrived here around 3 p.m. Tirik na tirik pa din yung araw dito when we arrived in one of the most popular landmarks dito sa Paris. So dito sa Arc de Triomphe, there's an option actually for viewing sa taas. So if you want to go here, you can actually purchase rooftop tickets in Klook around 1,057 to 1,078 pesos. So around that. But this varies depending on the season. So kami, we decided lang na sa baba magpa-picture taking. Since andito na kami sa Arc de Triomphe, next area naman na lalakarin natin ay yung Avenue ng Champs-Élysées. So, highlight nito ay yung malaking hotel ng Louis Vuitton. Imposibleng hindi niyo ito makikita kasi kapag nagdaan kayo dito, talagang napakalaki niya. At aside dyan, napakaraming shops here. That's why this area is considered to be the shopping spot when visiting Paris. So for us, we saw something cute kasi may Miniso dito and during this time, sikat na sikat yung Kuromi at saka may Melody. So limited items pa lang na makikita sa Paris. So we grabbed stuffed toys pasalubong sa mga bata because these Sanrio characters are their favorites. So bumili din kami syempre ng Paris fridge magnets which is 9 euros or around almost 600 pesos. So dahil sa pagod, we decided to go home after. So tina-target namin sana lahat puntahan ang best spots for picture taking na kasama ang Eiffel Tower as a background. But unfortunately, marami ang closest spots na ito due to the Olympics last time. So but for your reference, we're sharing these addresses for your reference when you visit Paris. So here are the total expenses namin for day 2. So for our third day, it's the Louvre Day. On our experience, nakarating naman kami dito around 10:15 a.m. Dito sa world's most famous and largest art museum in the world na mayroong 400 rooms, more than 35,000 artwork pieces on display, and 8 to 10 million visitors per year. So based on our experience, we have no choice but to buy tickets externally at hindi sa mismong official site kasi ubos na ang tickets. Partida around 1 month before na ito ng mismong trip and wala na kaming nakuha online. So as a recommendation, book earlier talaga kung kaya nyo na bumili 2 months before the trip, lalo na kung summertime, dun nyo na pag-decide na pumunta. So we bought our tickets via Headout at mahal kasi sinasabi nila dito na may tour guide pero sa totoo lang yung tour guide na yon ay sa harap lang. Around 15 minutes magsasalita lang yung guide tapos na. Walang mismong guide when you go inside. So hindi talaga sulit at may masabi lang na may tour guide, ganyan. So again, plan your Louvre Museum visit ahead, book earlier, especially summertime or peak season kasi maraming tao. So mag-book sa official site seen on this link kasi malaki ang difference versus external online tickets na binibenta kagaya ng Headout, Viator, or Get Your Guide. So meron din namang mapanlin lang na sites na mukhang official sites pero hindi, kagaya nitong nasa screen. So imagine yung cost sa official site na 22 euros versus 42 euros from Headout. So we're telling this for you to be aware when you visit Paris soon. So before we proceed, bibigyan muna namin kayo ng background regarding Louvre. So ano ang opening times ng Louvre Museum? So the museum is open on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. only. Kapag naman Friday, it's from 9 a.m. to 9:45 p.m. So sarado ang museum every Tuesday. So for less crowds, opt to go there ng Thursday or Friday. We'll give you a map to visualize nasaan nga ba ang Louvre Museum. So nakikita ang Louvre Museum sa first arrondissement ng Paris, 20 minutes walk. Ito from Notre Dame Cathedral at 15-minute walk naman from Orsay Museum. So paano naman makakarating sa Louvre Museum? So aside sa taxi or Uber, you can actually go to the Louvre Museum by bus and by metro. If by bus, there are several lines na humihinto near sa Louvre Museum sa area ng Place du Carrousel. So if metro naman ang choice mo, pwede ka bumaba sa Palais Royal Musée du Louvre, serviced by Line 1 and 7. So saang area pwede pumasok sa Louvre Museum? So there are multiple entrances para makapasok. So una sa Porte de Leon, often referred as a secret entrance if napapanood nyo sa social media, which is not really a secret anymore. Sa entrance ito, walang lockers, so if may gamit kayo na kailangan iwan, hassle kung dito kayo mag-e-enter, tapos close pa yung entrance na ito from every Friday. Pangalawang entrance naman ay sa iconic pyramid located sa center mismo ng museum complex. So ito talaga yung main entrance at ito ang pinaka-crowded queue sa lahat ng visitors. So this is where we entered and we can say talaga na napakadami talagang tao. So ito din yung pinakamadaling hanapin kung hindi ka talaga nag-research online before actually going there. At pangatlo, ito yung pinaka-recommended sa Place du Carrousel entrance. So easily accessible ito lalo na kung galing kayong metro station. So this leads to underground shopping mall na Le Carrousel du Louvre. Tapos may tagusan na papunta sa inverted pyramid sa Louvre. So during our time, sarado ito kaya hindi kami dito nag-enter. So may free lockers dito, free of charge, pero for small items only at less crowded compared sa main entrance. So dahil alam naman namin na nakakalito inside Louvre Museum sa sobrang laki niya, we just want to guide you on the actual layout inside the biggest museum in the world. So the Louvre Museum has 3 main wings, yung Richelieu wing, Sully wing, and the Dinon wing. So makikita sa Richelieu wing ay more of French and German paintings and antiquities. Sa Denon at Sully wing naman ay more into Egyptian, Roman, and Greek art and famous masterpieces from Europe. Anyway, back to our experience, no idea if ganito din yung normal process. Pero since maraming barricaded areas during our time, we went in line doon sa entrance sa may Sully wing. So we waited for hours before we actually entered together with a lot of tourists. So by 11:48 a.m., nakapasok na kami inside sa may entrance ng Sully Building at bumungad na sa amin yung pyramid glasses ng Louvre. Sa entrance, hindi mo kagad makikita itong pyramid glasses kasi napapalibutan ito ng mga Louvre Museum buildings ng Dinon, Sully at Richelieu wings. Kaya we are actually amazed when we finally saw it on our own eyes. So maraming pyramid glasses, by the way, hindi lang iisa ha. Pero yung iba maliliit lang. Malaki yung complex at hindi ka mahihirapan magpa-picture kahit maraming tao kasi hahanap ka lang talaga ng perfect spot for picture taking. So nakapasok na kami mainly sa loob ng Big Pyramid around 12:20 p.m. Inside, we get to see famous sculptures and paintings. Pero ang goal namin ay makita muna ang Mona Lisa kaya we went directly there. As experienced, napakadaming tao sa area ng Mona Lisa and when we saw it, ang liit ng painting lang niya in person. So the Mona Lisa is actually much smaller than most people expect. So in comparison, mas maliit lang siya ng konti sa isang 32-inch na TV. So after this, we witnessed as well the beauty of Winged Victory of Samothrace. Tapos yung Cupid and Psyche, the Coronation of Napoleon, Venus de Milo, at iba't ibang Egyptian, Greek, and Roman sculptures and art. So we stayed inside the Louvre Museum for about 2 hours. When you're inside, ma-overwhelm kayo kasi hindi nyo alam ano talaga uunahin sa sobrang laki. So we created this list para alam nyo na ano ang kailangan makita per wing at saan din yung specific location niya. So no idea lang kung there will be changes in the positions after the current heist na nangyari sa loob ng Louvre Museum. So after long walk, we decided to eat inside. So maraming restaurants sa mismong ground floor as well as comfort rooms. So we had some sandwiches and drinks in Paul. Medyo familiar tayo dito kasi meron dito sa Pilipinas. And the food is decent, so it's great for lunch. So this costs us 15 euros or approximately 950 pesos. So after this, we topped up our Navigo Easy Pass cards worth 64 euros for both of us or almost 4,080 pesos. So we decided to go home after and rest kasi talaga namang nakakapagod. And dahil tipid mode tayo for dinner, we had groceries near sa hotel sa Monoprix ulit. The same supermarket we had nung first day namin, and since we're craving for Asian food, buti meron sa tabi ng hotel. So total for our dinner is more or less 16 euros or 1,030 pesos. So this is our total expense for today. So for our fourth day or for our last whole day in Paris, syempre hindi namin palalagpasin ang Disneyland Paris. So we already went to 4 Disney parks in total already. So Hong Kong, Tokyo, California, tapos Paris. So in terms of location, almost 1 hour ang biyahe from the city center. So kung galing kayong city center, bababa kayo dito sa station na to. Mahirap kasi siyang i-pronounce. So here it is. So actual cost nito is 24 euros for both of us. So in terms of entrance fee sa Disneyland Paris, around 178 euros for 2 packs. So when converted, mga almost 11,000 pesos ito for both of us. So iisang Disney park lang ito ha. So there are 2 parks actually here. Yung mismong Disneyland Park at yung Walt Disney Studios Park. So but soon, marename naman daw din ito ng Disney Adventure World. So if both Disney parks ang pupuntahan nyo sa isang araw, mas mahal ang babayaran at aabutin ito around like 15,000 pesos. So we purchased our tickets via Klook and hindi naman nagkakalayo yung price nito compared to the main website. So download as well the official Disneyland Paris app. Okay, so andito yan sa video natin. You can check wait times dito sa app for every ride, bumili at mag-store ng park tickets, tapos mag-view ng Disneyland Paris map, search restaurants and other transactions inside Disneyland Paris. So during our 4th day when we arrived, maulan, tapos almost noon na ito, so gutom na kami. So we had our brunch in a convenience store na malapit sa entrance ng Disneyland. So ang name ng store ay Relay. Okay? So bumili kami ng food dito, tapos bumili din kami ng raincoat kasi umuulan. So wala kaming payong, so wala kaming choice. Total expenses namin dito ay almost 47 euros or almost 3,000 pesos. So after this, we entered the park at pumasok kami sa Walt Disney Studio Park. So nawala actually sa isip namin na one park lang yung pinurchase namin. So sinabi pa namin nung unahin muna natin to kasi mas maliit lang. So ayun, when we were entering naman na dun sa main Disney Park, nag-error na yung ticket. Kaya one day pass lang talaga pala kami. So nawala talaga sa isip namin. So anyway, for comparison sa Disney Park Paris, andito yung classic fairy tale park which includes the castle. Sa Walt Disney Studios naman, ito yung movie-themed park with more modern attractions like Toy Story, which is my favorite. Tapos andito din yung Marvel, pati karamihan ng mga indoor shows. So mas malaki ang Disneyland Park versus Walt Disney Studios. Though mas maliit ang Walt Disney Studios, we really enjoyed naman. So we decided to go to every ride and shows. Pero yun lang, nakakahinayang kasi we didn't witness the fireworks display tsaka ma-witness namin yung mismong castle. So isa yan sa mga reasons why we will be back in Paris soon. So ngayon, shown in the screen ay yung mga must-see rides for each park to help you out on your Disneyland experience. So as per experience namin, we went inside the Disneyland ng 12:14 p.m. and we went home ng 8 p.m. So as usual, mahal sa loob, and since we're budgeted, simple snack of fries lang yung kinain namin which cost 6 euros or 370 pesos. Tapos pag uwi, nag-dinner na lang kami sa malapit sa hotel and had some kebab which cost us 1,210 pesos or almost 20 euros. So for our last day, it was also the most hassle day for us sa entire Europe trip namin. So maaga yung schedule namin ng biyahe from Paris to Brussels. So we ended up na naiwan kami ng bus. Ang hirap sumakay from our hotel kasi may time lang ang buses. Eh di ba malayo nga kami sa city center. Tapos nag-train kami, bumaba kami, pero mahirap tuntunin yung bus station. So we ended up being delayed. Buti na lang talaga yung next bus driver namin, Pinoy. Pati yung conductor actually, Pinoy. We tried if we can ride, so meron kasing barcode for the drivers tsaka conductors para iscan sa mobile phone nila. So nagpauli kami talaga, tapos nag-error siya. Sabi namin, naiwan kasi kami ng bus dahil syempre kabayan. Pinasakay na kami, tapos binigyan na lang namin sila ng tip kahit magkano lang daw na nasa bulsa namin. So ayun, talagang very thankful kasi magdadalawang oras sa kami nag-aantay sa bus station. Our Paris journey ends here, and sabi nga namin, babalik talaga kami ulit kasi ang daming failed moments ang nangyari sa amin sa Paris. So first, since Olympic season, ang daming spots na closed at saka barricaded, so hindi namin napuntahan at na-enjoy lahat. Pangalawa, hindi namin napuntahan yung main Disneyland Park dahil nawala sa isip namin na isang park lang pala yung pinurchase namin. At yung pangatlo, naiwan kami ng bus, so next time talaga sa city center na kami magbubook. So it's actually a hassle, pero for us, these experiences talaga is part of traveling. So without these kinds of commotions, we'll not learn new things and experiences. So thank you for staying and watching our Paris guide. If you found this guide helpful, please like our video, subscribe to our channel for more budget-friendly travel tips for both local and international destinations. So let's show more Filipinos that with proper planning and research, European travel can be both affordable and unforgettable. So see you again on our next travel video, which is our Brussels guide.